Welcome, everybody. We're here. Episode 35. I cannot believe we've already made it this far. Can you? Well, that's the thing. We are moving at such a pace, like a record spinning just around in a circle. And I'm glad to join you again. There was a little bit of technical difficulty I have to share with you, because if I don't, what kind of host I would be. Again, my name is Tony, and what I wanted to share with you was this episode was to be released at exactly 6:30, but unfortunately, something happened to the audio. So here we are again. This has never happened. I've recorded lots and lots of podcasts. This is the very first time I'm going to re-record the episode that was already actually recorded. So this is actually going to be fun, because I had to put together, because what I'm the type of person is that as soon as an episode's done, I move to the next episode, and the slides had been erased. The tunes had been stripped, and all that was left was the shell for episode 36. But here we are at episode 35. So welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. We got a lot to cover, from Pearl Jam live in Chicago at the United Center, to The Clash, to even a little bit of Slayer. So let's get started. Recently, and by recently I mean just, within the couple within the week, August 22nd, right around there, August 17th, the band is teasing. They're teasing, and the band I'm talking about is the Rolling Stones. You see them right on your screen. New album, Hackney Diamonds. They got a brand new track that they are playing, and that brand new track is called Angry. You're looking for the Stones. You're looking for just that guitar to rip. Again, these are not the Stones of the 60s and the 70s, or even in the 80s. This is these Stones. I mean, these are road warrior Stones. They've been around for a long time. Okay, Charlie Watts passed away, 2 years ago. And you're saying to yourself, is he part of this album? Well, yes, he is. He will be drumming on 3 tracks on the album. Okay, 2 tracks as of right now, they said. Mess It Up and Live by the Sword. It's cool that always they get these titles out there to you, and then you really don't know what they sound like. So there's a song called Dreamy Skies. What's that about? Rolling Stone Blues. Actually, a Muddy Waters cover. It's going to be including in there. But 11 original songs by Jagger and Richards. So it's interesting to see them back. You always are like, is this going to be their last album? Their last album, a lot of people were like, is a Bigger Bang from 2005. Okay, that's quite a bit away of their last album of original material. They did in 26 come out with Blue and Lonesome. There was some good stuff on there if you get a chance to check that out. But again, Hackney Diamonds will be coming out in October. Okay, so when we get a little bit closer to that, I'm sure I will be digging deeper into what that is all about. That being said, recently, okay, I put out a little bit of a feeler, and I wanted some people to reply, and I got a lot of good replies. So we started to dig into that mailbox, so to speak, to see what kind of bands people maybe wanted us to talk about. And the 3 bands that we got right here, okay, are some, what's the word I'm looking for? They are some really good bands that you might not know that much about. And that's why here tonight, I'm here to kind of tell you a little bit of the goods, and to see maybe, you've heard of them. And if not, maybe you'll look a little bit deeper. Okay, these 3 bands, again, thank you to the Mad Scientist for sharing these with me, and for everyone else who has shared stuff with me. We are going to, trust me, get to it all. We have no plans of ever stopping, and if you got suggestions, we will take them, and we will definitely dig into those. Okay. That being said, Okay, Dead Moon was the first band of the three that I was suggested by the mad scientist, and Dead Moon had never heard of them before until this deep dive into an artist. And they're a band who really, they got started in 1987, and originally they broke up in '06. They also got together from 2014 to 2017. Okay, they have 10 albums. They're from Portland, Oregon. Okay, unfortunately, a band like many who has dealt with tragedy. Two of the three members have passed away, unfortunately, with cancer. Cancer sucks. We hate it. Unfortunately, people very close to me have passed away from cancer. So again, but back to the band, Dead Moon, really, really, really good. Kind of a garage rock sound. Really, really dug into them. I'm always going to dig into more because, In the Graveyard is kind of where I got started. And that came out in 1988. So maybe that's where you can get your start. But again, Dead Moon is definitely worth the price of admission. Okay. You're not going to hear a lot of bands like Dead Moon. Okay. Dead Moon, Andrew Loomis, and Fred Cole, two of the main members of the band, in passing away, you need to go back and revisit their music. So I was very appreciative to do that in this. Praxis, the second band that I was able to take a listen to, which features members like Buckethead. If you've never listened to Buckethead before, Buckethead has been on the scene for a while. I first heard of Buckethead in like 1998. And with Praxis, he's playing with Brain, okay, who was also part of Primus on the Brown album and the Anti-Pop album, which to me, those are pretty good albums. I enjoyed them quite a bit, but Praxis is kind of a little bit, they're experimental, they're jammy. There's a little bit of, maybe you could even hear just a tiny bit of some Zappa, but it's very good music. Again, another band that I was familiar with some of the what I'm saying, the work of Buckethead and Brain, and I know they had done stuff together, but just the name Praxis, I hadn't really heard that name before. So looking a little bit deeper, everyone from Surge, from System of a Down, and Iggy Pop has been a part of Praxis in some regard, making a song or not. Also, someone like Mike Patton from Faith No More and Mr. Bungle. Mr. Bungle. I was thinking of the Buggles. Video killed the radio star right there. But Mr. Bungle, a really awesome band Mike Patton is a part of. But Praxis, really worth checking out. Bootsy Collins has done a lot of stuff with them. Okay, and Praxis is a band that it says they got started in 84, but really, really start getting going in 92. Okay, they have 5 albums. Check them out. Okay, you're going to get into some really good experimental, awesome music. Okay, which is, well, that's why we're here. Metatron is kind of where I got started, and that's right in the middle. That's from 1994. Lots of good cuts off of that one. Really good stuff. First track. Usually I like the first track, but it's never usually someone that I'm like, it's my favorite, because I like to dig deep. But Wake the Dead off of that is really, really, really good. The last band that we're going to dig into here really quick, that honestly, for a long time, I had known about them because I had, watched 120 Minutes back in the day on MTV, which we had brought up on the show before. It was kind of like a show where you would get a lot of your alternative music, and a lot of that is you want some good alternative music. And back in the day, that was where you would go and look. But Reef, a band from Glastonbury. Okay, Glastonbury has its own festival, and they have Reef. Okay, a band that was put together in '93, originally broke up in '03, but since 2010 they are still going, and they are still rocking, and they are still rolling. Good stuff again. Okay, a lot of the guys in the band, Gary Stringer and Jack Besant, okay, really, really, really talented. Just a talented band, talented all-around band. this this song that they had a long time ago. It was called Naked. Kind of gives me a little bit of like a Black Crowes type of a vibe, which we're always here for the Black Crowes. So love the Black Crowes. Their newer stuff, digging into that, like their last album, the title cut, um, really from Shoot Me Your Ace. It was totally different than that Naked song, which was off of their album that kind of gave them their known, and that was Glow, their second album. Um, good stuff off of that. And actually, I made a mistake there. Naked was actually off of their debut album, where Glow kind of gets them going into more of maybe even more of people getting to know who they are, and me just hearing the name. So when brought up to me, I did not remember any of the songs. So digging a little bit deeper, and playing that Replenish album and playing that Glow album, and hearing that Place Your Hand song, which has been a long time since I had heard it on 120 minutes. So it's odd that I could look into this and say, hey, I don't know anything about this band. And then after listening to the song, it clicked that I remember them on 120 minutes, and actually kind of know the song a little bit. So check out those bands. Again, that is these are the type of things that we like to do. We like to produce, promote awesome things like Dead Moon, Praxis, and Reef. Check those out. Also, if it's been a long time, and it has been for me, go back and revisit Tragic Kingdom by No Doubt. It's a really, really good album from 1995. Okay. The instrumentation on this album is awesome. It's really, really good. And I think that Gwen Stefani does just a fabulous job on the vocals. Definitely for for a band that sometimes maybe even gets a little bit dismissed. I don't think they should be dismissed, because I think that they're full of talent. Okay. And Tragic Kingdom shows off a lot of that from 1995. Okay. 14 songs fill this album. Okay. There were 7 singles off of this album. And honestly, I'm familiar with quite a lot of them. If it's been a while, go back and listen to Just a Girl, Spiderwebs, Don't Speak, Excuse Me, Sunday Morning. Really, really good stuff to put you a little bit in an up mood. And I think that's what they were really good at. They were good at putting people up, and they were good at making people feel good within their music, which is important. Recently on the radio, I had heard Don't Speak, and that's kind of been a long time since I had heard that song. And honestly, the drums, the instrumentation, really, really good stuff. And that's what made me lead me back down to this road to have to revisit it for the show. I thought, why not? It was a good time. It was awesome, and I thought I would share it with you, which is what I love to do here at the Hookup on Music, is always share with you experiences, share with you many, many, many different things, and all of that awesome jazz. Now we move on to recently, Pearl Jam played a set of shows at the United Center. I almost called it the Chicago Stadium, because I saw a really awesome poster of them playing there in the 90s. Really cool that this band is just so intertwined into Chicago, an awesome city. They were here on September 5th and September 7th, played 2 eclectic sets. Okay. Set on the 5th really dives deep into a lot of different albums. They play the album they played the most songs off of was their newest album. Did enjoy Dance the Clairvoyance off of their album, but they played that song plus 3 others. But if you were more of a fan of the older stuff, they did play a couple off of Verses, 3 off of Vitology, 3 off of 10. It's quite a bit. They played 24 songs. Awesome covers that first night with Surrender. Okay, which I think is just an awesome, awesome cover. And that was how they ended the night. How going into Alive and then going into Surrender, you got to say this is good stuff. I'm glad I'm able to catch this. Pearl Jam's always a band though that doesn't disappoint live. They remind me quite a lot of another band that was just a road band, and that was the Grateful Dead. Pearl Jam keep putting out studio albums. I do find them to be very, very still good. A lot of people like to compare them to the original albums, and honestly, if you spend your whole time always comparing, like earlier bringing up the Rolling Stones, if you're always spending your time comparing, old albums to new albums, you're rarely going to find that the new albums succeed those old classic albums. But that's not really why you should be actually listening to Pearl Jam or going to see them. You should be respecting the fact that they've been around so long, and doing such awesome things. And that being said, night 2 again filled with classics. If you're into that first album 10, they played 8 songs that second night. 8 songs, and then another 2 off of the second album, and another 2 off of Vitology, and only 2 off of that first album. So they really like to switch it up. They end with Yellow Ledbetter. Everybody thinks that's a really awesome song, and it really is. The guitar work is amazing. The guitar work in all their songs is good. Awesome. Always appreciate their guitar work, and live, no joke. Everybody that I talked to about these shows, they said they were all that. Seeing pictures, really, really good. I'm watching a band like Pearl Jam be able to still fill stadiums like the United Center should be hailed. It should be, well, no pun intended, like one of their albums, it should be yielded as something that is just awesome. And the reason, because a lot of the bands there that they started with haven't done that. Nirvana unfortunately didn't make it that long. STP no longer is that same band, and they don't play. Earlier we discussed how they play like carnivals and stuff like that. Whole different experience, where Pearl Jam still playing these concerts, filling it. Okay, they are bringing out Chris Chelios on stage, who, if you're not familiar with, great Blackhawk, to announce his jersey retirement. If you go to their Facebook page and check out, they went ahead and they posted both set lists of the show. Okay, and both set lists are one is behind something historic with the Bulls, and the other one is behind something historic with the Blackhawks. I like the way they work in sports into a lot of their stuff. And Eddie Van Halen, Eddie Vedder really always is involved in doing cool stuff, baseball games and stuff like that. He just doesn't sit up on his high perch, which I always appreciate. And his most recent solo album should be checked out also. But definitely, if you ever get a chance, this band's always going to blow you away. Seeing that they played that song that I just played for you, Immortality, it shows me that this band is willing to just play just dig into their catalog, and you just really don't know what is going to be played. And I like that about them. I like that quite a lot. I like a band that's willing to give you tracks and make you feel like, you know what, you are in their wheelhouse. Okay, they didn't play Immortality in Chicago, but that's really what's cool about them, is that they switch up and they do different things in different stadiums, and you might not hear it then, because the night before they played Purple Rain. That was their cover. Always doing different stuff. Always, I think, just always, what's the word I'm looking for? Just looking to stretch the boundaries. And I think that's kind of why sometimes people might not think that they're, and I stand incorrected, because that was the whole reason why I picked that song. I was like, why did I say that? They did play Immortality on the 7th, the second show. I knew that they had to have played it. But that being said, if they ever come to town, check them out. It's definitely worth it. A band that I know definitely Pearl Jam is a fan of. And before we get to that band, Huge giveaway here at the Hookup on Music. Okay, if you're listening and you're watching this, please, 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 I am giving away. The Hookup on Music is giving away. Me, myself, and the Hookup on Music is giving away a vinyl copy of Pearl Jam's Merkin Ball. Okay, spread the word of the show, please. Follow, hit the follow button. Tell other people to follow. Take a picture of it and send it up to the Hookup on Music. And you will enter a draft. I'm saying a draft. You're not going to enter a draft. You're going to enter a giveaway. And I will send you this awesome, amazing vinyl. So please, we're going to continue bringing this up in the next couple weeks. There'll be postings. But all you got to do is just subscribe to the Sadistic Penguin YouTube channel. Very simple. If you would like to too, please subscribe to the Hookup on Music Twitter also. That would also be helpful. But definitely subscribe to the Hookup on Music Sadistic Penguin Studios, and you will enter a chance for Merkin Ball. Awesome, awesome album. But that being said, as I was speaking before, The Clash, an amazing band that we can, and we will, honestly, folks, this is a topic that's going to be talked about quite a lot. I have no shortage of amazing Clash to talk, and talk about. Clash should be talked about, honestly, on every show, at least one rock show once a week. And tonight, what I want to do is talk about the Clash and how eclectic their sound was. Because the truth is they were extremely, extremely eclectic, to the point where they infused everything from post-punk, new wave, reggae, dub, funk, ska. I mean, it was all right there in the music, and it was right there for all the fans to enjoy, which they did. And my thing is that did they style more different genres of music into their sound than other bands? What's another band that you could think of? And I want you to do some thinking, and you could reach back out that maybe it expanded their sound like the Clash, because when you go and compare other maybe punk bands of the time, or the Clash have a very, very, very big sound and eclectic sound compared to, let's say, the Sex Pistols, who take, for instance, Sid Vicious could not play any bass, where here, Paul Simonon could play some amazing, amazing bass. Excellent, excellent, excellent track, The Magnificent Seven, which again, if you're used to London Calling, or Should I Stay or Should I Go, or even something a little bit more like, the I Fought the Law and the Law Won, the most basic, what I would say, Clash song. Magnificent Seven's coming from a completely, completely different place. Okay, it is infusing different sounds. And that's what I like the most about it. And what it does is it's kind of like it's inspired by another genre, hip hop, which again adds to the lore of all of the different sounds that they are just mixing into, well, what they're doing. Which honestly, that is the ultimate bread and butter, I think, for any band, is can you keep stretching the sound while keeping the fans happy? And honestly, they do it really, really good. They do it better than some of the rest, and they definitely worth checking out. And honestly, you go back and you could take a look at an album like, let's say, London Calling. Okay, London Calling is from 1979. Okay, and wow. Okay, blown away by this album. Blown away. Okay, 19 tracks. Okay, 19 tracks. They threw in this hidden track, Train in Vain, because, well, that's how cool they are. And it honestly gets some of the most radio play out of all of them. But an eclectic album, just mixed with awesome sounds. We're going to do an episode one day where we're just going to dig into this album all the way. But honestly, go back and take a listen to Lost in the Supermarket and tell me that that's not an awesome song. But that being said, we are always, always full of awesomeness here. And let's move on to, well, the Yellowcard. Please, please, folks, if you have not, get on down to the Sadistic Penguin YouTube studio. We got our own web page, and you could find awesome, awesome stuff on there, like, well, these episodes. You can find cool articles about many, many different things, music, this, that, and one that my good fellow Penguins foe did recently on Yellowcard really, really opened the door for me to check a little bit out on this band. And honestly, I've only been stuck on still the very first one, which was the one that I was a little familiar with before, Ocean Avenue. But please check out that article. And Ocean Avenue is definitely an album that if you're looking to, again, feel good, back to the No Doubt feeling, looking at something fast, okay? First track, Way Away, really, 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 really awesome. A band from 97 to 08, from 10 to 17. And they're now performing 10 albums, loaded front to back. Check out that article. You're going to learn a little bit more about them. But Ocean Avenue, heard that song so many times. Actually, awesome song that maybe in the past didn't really appreciate, maybe even a little ignorant about. But Yellowcard, really, really awesome. Glad that I took the time out to really check into that. So go read my man's Foes article. Check out some of the classic tracks on Ocean Avenue that I enjoy. As stated before, Way Away is really awesome. Miles Apart, 23. Empty Apartment's a good one too. They're all really good though. It's an album you should play from front to back. But again, please check out that awesome article. Slayer. We're here to Slayer, my friends. And it's Halloween season, folks. And this isn't necessarily about Slayer. This is about how cool Slayer is to play during Halloween time. And man, Slayer's played a cool to play pretty much any day of the week. But when you got those Halloween stuff out, I've been walking trick-or-treating, going by people's backyards, and Slayer's playing. And Slayer should always be playing because Slayer is quite amazing. And, a band that, again, 12 albums. They were around from 1981 to 2019. They broke up. Unfortunately, Jeff Hanneman, who was a huge influence of the band, passed away back in 2013. They did continue a little bit and still released one album after his passing. But again, really sad stuff that they're not playing anymore. Maybe every now and then, maybe we can get maybe a reunion or something, maybe even around Halloween. That would be really cool. But with Slayer and Halloween, I mean, their covers are, nothing is more scarier than their covers. Nothing's more scarier than what I looked at when I was a kid and I saw these covers. Hell Awaits, Seasons in the Abyss, really good stuff. South of Heaven. Just a lot of the titles too to their songs. Rain and Blood, which is, well, really awesome. But you say to yourself, what else is there? Well, it's Halloween time. We've gotten Slayer. We've talked about Pearl Jam. We've got Clash. Well, there's always a couple more awesome songs you could play for Halloween. Okay, Dawkins, The Dream Warriors. That's never a bad time to play that song. That's an awesome, cheesy horror song. Or if it's been a long time, Sam the Sham and the Pharaoh's Little Red Riding Hood. Really awesome. Shows up in a little movie called Striking Distance.
Who's that I see walking in these woods? Why, it's Little Red Riding Hood. Hey there, Little Red Riding.
My goal for playing you these songs is, you know what? You should be playing them at your maybe a Halloween party you got coming up. Maybe you should be playing them, well, just driving around because it's Halloween time. My main thing is you should always be playing awesome tunes, and that's why we're always here. Thank you for rocking and rolling with us. Okay, please, thank you. Thank you for waiting for the little bit of the delay that we had tonight. Do appreciate that. Always appreciate that you're joining us. Check out all that stuff. Check out the article that's amazing on Yellowcard on the Sadistic Penguin web page. Good stuff. SadisticPenguinStudios.com. Really, really awesome. Check out that Yellowcard album. Check out The Clash. Check out Pearl Jam. Go back and revisit those 11 albums. No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom. Definitely check out Dead Moon, Praxis, and Reef. Good stuff there. And curious to, like I said, sear more of that Stones. Always enjoy record surfing with you, because even when I'm out there in public record surfing, you guys are with me because I'm always looking for the goods for us. My name is Tony. I do appreciate it. Next week, I promise I'll make sure that I have the audio. I'll make sure that I have all the goods and that we don't have to wait that long for them, because, you know, we all want to rain. And well, until the very next time, and until we're all reigning in rock and roll together, I do appreciate it. And have a good week. We'll see you next time.